Thank you so much for the introduction. Thank you for the heartwarming introduction. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your presence. As introduced, my name is Alaa. I came from Qatar, Ariane Real Estate. Before I begin with my presentation, I would like to thank the IREX team, the operation team are the organizers, and our beautiful host who has been working very hard since morning to introduce us. Today we're going to be discussing some investment opportunities in Qatar. Why Qatar in general? This is the question that I would like to arise here in our presentation. I come from a company called Ariane Real Estate. We are a developer in the real estate market in Qatar, and not just on a local level, but on a regional and international level. We have recently, over the past couple of years, started our expansion through different countries in the region. To begin with, we have been in the real estate market since 2013, reshaping the landscape, the real estate landscape of Qatar. We have developed over 6 million square meters, and we have operated, handed over, and managed approximately 70,000 units. To begin with, I would like to introduce you first to Qatar, as we are a booming nation. We are an arising nation in the Middle East and in the GCC region. As you can see, this is how Qatar looked back in the 1980s, and now this is how it looks like in 2024. The government has invested so much in the infrastructure and in the infrastructure of Qatar, from metros, airports, hospitals, and so on, which I will show you later on in our presentation. Qatar's economy and riches come from the natural gas, from its reserves of the natural gas, being one of the leading exports of liquefied gas in the whole world. Now, Qatar, over the past couple of decades, have invested approximately $45 billion into the infrastructure and the real estate market in Qatar. We're talking about hospital, metro, highways, bridges, and many other infrastructure that is the necessities of a sustainable life. Now, this number, which is $45 million being invested into the infrastructure, is very important, all right? Because for any country, for any nation to develop, to improve itself, to attract foreign investors, to have a sustainable life, an achieving fulfillment of life, we need to invest into the infrastructure. That is why, as you can see, Qatar is ranked first globally in the public infrastructure, as per the Global Innovation Index. Now, Qatar is, of course, amongst the safest countries in the world, all right? It has the best education in the GCC region, one of the best educations in the GCC region, the best healthcare system, which we will move past the points of the investment opportunities and the government incentives which the government offers you if you invest in Qatar. Now, the benefits of investing in the real estate sector and the real estate market in Qatar generally, it is because it generates a very high yield, one of the highest yields in the region. It averages around 8% ROI on yearly basis. It's a hassle-free investment. The government has offered you in Qatar, the new laws and regulation has offered you a really great hassle-free investment, which means that you can simply purchase your property. There's no need for all that documentation, legal firms and lawyers and all these long processes. You can simply, within a day, finalize the purchase of your property, begin in that same day, where you can start applying for your residency permit and you can start moving in your family to Qatar and so on. Now, it's a unique lifestyle. Of course, if any of you have visited Qatar or if you have seen Qatar, we have hosted many great events over the past couple of years, such as World Cup, such as Asian Cup, which India did great, by the way, in it, if you're a fan of soccer and football. And asset appreciation, of course. Asset appreciation, Qatar asset appreciation basically holds its ground because of the great economy that the country has, because of the richness of its country, the stable economy, the stable currency that the country has. The currency has been the same. It hasn't fluctuated maybe by 00 decimals, if that is correct, over the past, since the 2000s, early 2000s. Moving forward, Qatar, we have mentioned that Qatar is one of the richest countries because of its natural resources. Now, moving on to the governmental incentives for the investors, You can get your permanent residency, all right, for an investment over $1 million. If you buy a property for over $1 million, you will get a permanent residency. What does a permanent residency mean, and what does a residency permit mean? So a permanent residency means that even if you sell your asset after purchasing it for $1 million US, after even selling it, you will still have your residency permit for you and your family members. Now, on the other hand, we have that residency permit. The residency permit starts from 200,000 US, all right? Now, once you purchase that property for 200,000 US, which has, by the way, a registration fee of 1% only. Unlike any other country, I believe in India it's about 7%. Some other countries has 6, 5, 4%. In Qatar, it's only 1%. So even the charges that the government are putting on, they're very minimal. This is to encourage foreign investors to actually come to Qatar. Now, the residency permit and the permanent residency gives you free education, free healthcare for you and your family members, and for your children up to 25 years, up until they are 25 years old. Now, of course, it's a freehold ownership, which means it's inherited, and it's a freehold, not like a leasehold for 99 years and so on. And Qatar, of course, we can proudly say that we are a tax-free country. We're indeed a tax-free country. There's no any forms of taxes, no income taxes, capital gain taxes. There is no taxes on the commodities trade, no value-added taxes or service charges whatsoever. Moving forward to Qatar Tourism and Hospitality, over the past couple of years, Qatar has hosted many events, as I have mentioned earlier. The tourism and the hospitality sector is growing quite exponentially over the past couple of years. In 2023, we had almost 3.8 visitors, tourists, out of which 40% came from the GCC, which we have almost all hotels in Qatar, almost all over the winter season fully booked. We are going to talk about Qatar infrastructure, of course. Now you can see some pictures here, such as Education City. Qatar has a city, a district, entire district, which is called Education City. It is developed over a 4.6 million square meters area, all right? It holds one of the world-class universities and college institutions and schools actually in this district itself. This is Education Stadium, which hosted some of the matches of Asian Cup, Arab Cup, and the World Cup, of course. This is some of the places that are located in Qatar. You can see on the top right, this is Souq Waqif. This is the tram stations. By the way, Qatar infrastructure is to this point. So most of the projects and most of the cities most of the districts where you can see that you can invest in, there's always a tram station, which connects you to the metro station, by which connects you to the entirety of Qatar. Down there, you can see some of the very nice places, such as Pearl and Hamad International Airport, of course. This is part of the Education City. And this is Hamad Medical City. Hamad Medical City is basically some of the benefits we have mentioned. As I have mentioned earlier, this is a governmental hospital, so you get free healthcare in Qatar, which I believe rarely any country that offers zero tax offers free healthcare. Hamad Medical City is basically an entire district which holds hospitals, clinics, and researching centers on medical level, of course. This is some of the equipment that they have. Qatar has one of the best healthcare sectors in the region and possibly in the world. We are going to talk about Hamad International Airport, just to cut time, because I'm on limited time. Hamad International Airport has won in 2024 the best airport in the world on from IREX, which many of you might have transited in throughout the time on your trips. As you can see, it won the IREX Airport of the Year for 2024. This is some of the pictures that it has. It's quite unique. You can find showers in the airport. You can find sleeping rooms, beds. You can find everything that you can think of, shopping, whatever your heart desires, you can find it in this airport. The Qatar tourism sector has been growing over the past couple of years since 2018 by approximately 20 to 30% depending on the year. 20 to 30% depending on the year since 2018, except for the corona years, of course, as you can see the drop in the diagram that we see down there. We're planning actually by the 2030 vision of Qatar. Qatar is planning by 2030 to host as much as tourism as possible. All the infrastructure, all the new projects that are being developed right now is to attract investors, to attract tourism, to attract as much as people to live in this country, because it is, as you can see, this is real life pictures of what Qatar has to offer. For example, this is like, it kind of looks like Venice in my own opinion, up there in the middle. If you can see it, this is located in the Pearl. There's retail stores, coffee shops, you can simply walk around. And most of the outdoor places in Qatar are air conditioned. So people might say that, all right, it's hot, GCC and so on, but almost all outdoor places in Qatar that are newly being constructed are all air conditioned. This is some of the other pictures that we have. And moving on to one of the latest projects that Qatar has just launched. So it's developing in a city, all right, called Smaisma, approximately an 8 million square meters, 8 million square meter city. It will host a Disneyland-size amusement park, and it's almost 10 minutes away from Lusail City, where this Lusail City is the futuristic city of Qatar. Now, for the benefits that you will receive for investing with Ariane Real Estate, us in Qatar. Now, in Ariane Real Estate, we don't believe just selling a property. No, that's not how it works. Most of you maybe have not visited Qatar, have not been to Qatar. Moving to a new country can be hard, and we understand that. So that's why we're offering an A to Z services when you come to Qatar. For example, you're willing to purchase your property. We'll invite you over to Qatar, you and your spouse, your husband or your wife, for 2 people, free of charge for 2 days, by the way. We'll invite you to Qatar. You'll come over to Qatar. You'll see the project. You'll look around. We'll take you around. You'll choose the property that you want. Now, you purchased the property, right? You would like to transfer the amount. We have many options for you to assist you on this level. Now, for the third step, you would like to, for example, open a bank account. We already have our banks who we have deals with, which we can assist you with opening your bank account. Now, you want to register the property. We will help you registering the property. Getting your residency permit. You don't have to go to a legal firm, pay a lawyer, and so on. We're a big company. We have our own legal team. We will assist you with obtaining your permanent residency. Even afterwards, you don't want to live in Qatar. You want to rent your property out, right? We'll do that 2 years free of charge. This is the offers that we have given you in order to help the government attract foreign investors to the nation. Now, this is, as I have said, this is the exclusive services. And one more service that I have forgot to mention, even if you want to open your own business, because as I said, once you purchase a property, it entitles you to open your own business in Qatar. Whatever it is, restaurant, whatever your dreams are, restaurant, coffee shop, anything that it is, we will even assist you by directing you to the authorities where you can open your company, start the process, rent a retail store, and so on, commercial space. Now, this is some of our projects. Most of our projects are located, actually, all of our projects are located in prominent areas next to the city center of Lusail. So Lusail is this new city that is constructed in Qatar over the last 10 years. It has all the infrastructure. It has 2 universities, one of the biggest malls. It has an amusement park, like a water amusement park, which is right now operational. It won 3 Guinness records. It's very nice. And this is where all of our projects are located. For example, if you can see, this is one of our projects. It's Arkia City. It's located right by Lusail Stadium. Lusail Stadium is right next to the downtown. So we're talking a walking distance to the downtown. Even if you don't want to walk, there's a tram station in the city which leads you to anywhere around Qatar, wherever you want to go. Now, we're talking about prices starting from $300,000 in this project. For example, this is City Avenue project, which is in the middle. All right. This is a hotel apartment with a mall on the ground and first floor. The prices are starting from $300,000, 10% down payment, and 4 years installment plan. There is no interest whatsoever. It's completely in-house financed by us. And we're expecting an ROI rate of 8% approximately. We have many other projects. This is not the only projects that we have. You are more than welcome to visit us. We're the only Qatari company in this exhibition this time in Hyderabad. Unlike the last time, there were a lot of us. However, we're located in the meeting room next to you. I would like to thank you all for listening, and thank you once again for our hostess for the great introduction.